Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 2. This is round 22, and we are live. And of course, my regular midweek guest, might as well say I'm welcomed. It's Quinton Fortuna. Good evening, Quinton.
Good evening, Mr. Megahorse. I'm welcomed to be here.
Yeah, I was thinking, just don't say welcome, just don't say welcomed. And there I go, same weekend, so perfect. Uh, all ready for some lovely action. Let's take a little look at last time round's games. Um, the Sunday game, of course, was 76ers versus OTs, and 76ers gave them a bit of a tonking, a savaging, you could say, that Mike received there. Mr. Wooder is in and live and first. Good evening to you. And your team, of course, Dangley's got a draw with Gondor, so not bad. Avoided defeat, but only for the third time this season, I believe. Quinton, what was the standout performance from the round, including 76ers, of course?
I think the standout result is really, isn't it, at DaGers. 3-0 away victory puts them in fourth position, and it's just brings the league a little bit closer together. An excellent performance. I mean, you can't argue with that performance, can you? They outclassed them all over the pitch.
All over the pitch, yeah. It was a absolutely dominating performance, wasn't it? I think it's one of those things that just keeps them in the race for promotion, certainly, but also it was a result that stopped Dalgety Rangers being promoted. If they'd have beaten really, it would have been all over at that point for chances of really winning the league. I mean, extremely unlikely now with 5 rounds to go, but Dalgety Rangers can still go up tonight if they win their game.
Yeah, well, it was a great result for him, but also I probably should mention Trumpton as well for their victory at Atleti, because that's the one that separates them, isn't it? And keeps Trumpton in with a shout of promotion. And I think those a little bit further down, they've probably got. I'd probably say pretty much zero chance of going up, haven't they? Anyone six downwards now.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, you look at it and think Atletico Newell's have probably just lost that yet. Dan has arriving and saying, "Have I lost yet?" He seems pretty convinced he's going to get beaten heavily by OTs, so we'll see how that gets on. Any idea how what the relegation playoff looks like as I qualify for it? Do you know what? We'll play them for a laugh probably at some point, but yeah, I don't think necessarily you'll be in there because if you keep going the way you are, you'll be just relegated automatically. We will have a look at and see what happens with OT's or Gondor or Dangley's. Um, it looks like, well, at the moment it's going to be Kalmar or Landscroller, isn't it, really? So,
Bannerad will be in there.
yeah, oh, yeah, I suppose he would be, wouldn't he? Yeah, is he still there this season? Chestinkaya, yeah, Fana has been sat on the bench and has only made one start this season. Anyway, that's not quite beside the point. Good evening, Mike Savage, as well. And Dangley's last minute surge for top spot. Well, if we take a little look at the bottom of the table there, with 5 games to go, Dangley's, as it was of course made the other day, cannot finish higher than 12th. Gondor could scrape 11th, and Otis also 11th at best.
I think Dan must mean top of the playoff spots there at the bottom. That's what it must mean clearly.
What's yeah, but yeah, the top of the bottom three. And mathematically, with a chance of winning the league, it is only the top five, although realistically, it's the top two. And we'll see, of course, with the 3 teams promoted as it stands, depending on on teams that change over. We are expecting to be losing 4 top division sides and no teams from Division 2 as far as it goes. So Division 2, all managers set to continue next season, which is great news for the league. Reminder of today's games then. Look at that one. Dalgety Rangers versus the Blues. Absolutely huge game tonight.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's the top billing, isn't it? It's you don't get much better than that. But then if you look at the bottom two as well, really athletic. Again, that could play a crucial part in determining the final promotion spot, and Trumpton round here as well. It's a huge game, isn't it? I mean, there's some excellent fixtures tonight. Even Grove Danglies, looking forward to that one. Otis Aracas. There's only really the Gondor Stackington game that's not that tight.
It's kind of a bit, well, I'm not going to say mismatch entirely, because I don't want to curse my team, but yes, should win the game. Where Radaby? Good question. Well, due to 76ers playing Leria in the UEFA Cup on the Thursday of this round, they were supposed to be playing Radaby instead. So the next round of fixtures has the 6 matches plus 76ers versus Trumpton, and then the game that should have been tagged onto these is actually being played here. So in a week's time from this point, a week's time, we'll have to tag it along with something in for the next round. But that's when it is Radaby versus 76ers, not in this round of fixtures. But what is in this round of fixtures, of course, Vicenza versus Leicester and Slavia Mocha versus Bolton Wanderers.
Montpellier versus Wolves, that's the big one.
Oh yes, Wolfie, of course. There he is, looking with the lovely players such as where's Fortesh? Where's Fortesh? That's the disappointing thing, isn't it? So, first game, Wooders here. It's Grove versus Danglies. Danglies on first. I mean, it's been so used to Dragons being on at the end of the shows at the moment on Super League. So I guess an early game. And for Stu, who last time out got a 1-1 draw in that lovely grey and orange. It was actually quite hard to read, but looked nice. With Dan Hazard's Aracas. Last time they played Danglies, it was 1-0, and of course, old Pegleg Dario Silva got the goal late in the match.
Yeah, it's not a surprise really. Is that Darius Silva off the bench and getting a goal? I know we've talked up Grove substitutes quite a lot in this season, and it's no surprise, is it, with results like that? But it's a good setup from today. I like the team they've got in there. I like the concept they've had all season, and this could be a tight one. I think it's depends how Dangley's line up. But looking at Grove, there's no areas of specific weaknesses. The Smirteen's not performed at his best in the last few weeks, so he'll have to make up for things a little bit. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Steve's here. Good evening, Steve. And Jim Phillips from Round here is here as well. So, yeah, missing David Unsworth at the back. He is suspended, isn't he? Was it a red card last match for him?
I'm not sure. Don't remember that, to
yellow,
be honest. It's
yellow for him.
Him and Song suspended. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so no Unsworth, no Song. Sounds like a Bob Marley song, really. Well, into this game, and Danglies for this one, squad full of delighted players. Rigobert Song missing indeed for 2 games. He has been suspended a lot this season. If we take a little look at his record, I'm sure he's had a few games out. So this is 5 games plus at least these 2. If you missed last game suspended, then that becomes 8 games in a row. Well, 8 games in a row. 8 games this season where they've been banned for. So we'll see. But today,
it's not a surprise, is it? Because he was the youngest man to be sent off at 2 World Cups, wasn't he? 94 and 98 with Cameroon at 17 and 21.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. So the formation described as legal wib-wobbing from Wooder. I'd say it was only legal wibbing because there's no wobbing going on.
There's not a lot of wobbing, is there? Unless it's a forward running wobbing. That's different. I like how this has changed the Danglies. Really, they've become a bit more of a threat going forward since the early days of the sweeper formation. And I mean, Barros and Crouch look a lot more potent than when they had Holdino up front, don't they? Camera played well last time. He showed a lot of focus. Got a goal early on. And Luis Garcia and David Thompson as well provide a bit more threat in behind. So looking forward to this setup. They've got more conventional centre backs in rather than last time. I think we had a patchwork defence, didn't we? Steve was in there alongside another
Yeah,
Steve Staunton, and Gary Ablett was in too.
yeah. We noticed that Steve Harkness, despite doing so well, he's been dropped, and it's basically the reason is he's not going to do it again, is he? So, yep, he scored for his team. He ended up getting a yellow card and an 8. He was all over the place. Did a good job, but yeah, he's dropped because he's never going to be able to recreate that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. To be honest, I don't think Harkness had some good games, and he was surprised he got his big move to Benfica.
Predictions, everyone, including yourself, Quinton.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-2 this one. It's tough to call. I think say Grove have performed very well this season, above expectations really. Some excellent performances, and Dangley's look a bit more of a threat. So I think just on that form, I think 2-2's probably a fair result. But I fancy Andy Cole to get a game. I'm sorry, Andrew Cole to get a goal this time for Grove.
Despite starting.
Despite starting, yeah, I'm going to go against the subs. I think the subs will be absolutely shite tonight, but the starters will get a goal, and Dangley's David Thompson's going to get a goal tonight.
So 2-2. Mike Savage, who says he's enjoying the reasoning from Mudder about Steve Harkness, says 1-1.
And the disappointment in Merson dropping as well, of course, obviously.
Yeah, how can Jim back Merson to score in this one? I mean, who's he going to back instead? Woodder saying 7-1 Danglies. So confidence. Confidence is quite the word. Let's go anyway.
Unless he's just looking at player ratings and hoping
1
for a
to
7.
7. Yeah, Dean Saunders give me a 1 to 7. He's not playing though, unfortunately. D'Alessandro's had a chance to score and he hasn't put it in, but 15 minutes in, Patrick Berger scoring against the Danglies. And then D'Alessandro makes it 2. This is a quick fire double that gets Grove into this game. Crouch having a chance for Danglies against the Portsmouth side. So it's quite a crossover between these two teams.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? It's David James, of course, as well.
Sander Westerveld, Steve Finnan. It's certainly a lot of them playing in this team, yeah. Chance for Berger again. Nearly made it 3-0 before half time. And it's 2-0. It's very comfortable. And just before we take a look at the Danglies team, give us your thoughts, Quinton.
Yeah, great start from Grove, isn't it? It's I mean, look all throughout the pitch, they're outclassing their opposition, and Wood is absolutely right in his prediction. He's got 1-7 at half time for Jersey Dudek. The rest of the team need to pull the socks up, and McAteer and Shaw in particular are poor at the back. But if you look at the opposition, Finnan with a 9, a few 8s in there, Berger with a 9 as well. Great start for Grove. It's difficult to play against a team when they're in this form.
I'm not sure how much I believe Wood's comment there. It's not been vintage Danglies. It's been textbook Danglies, hasn't it, so far?
Yeah, textbook early season Danglies. So they're still not out of it yet. Too. Luis Garcia looks like he's picked up a bit of a knock, doesn't he? On 83% there. Igor's doing his best in midfield. I think a 6 probably a bit harsh. He's throwing himself into tackles, won a bit of headers, completed plenty of passes, so he's doing quite well in there. But other than that, no one else is really pulling the weight. Maybe Steve Staunton, but lost both his headers, hasn't he? And not really passed it much. But yeah, I suppose a textbook Dangley's result, certainly, isn't it?
Any changes for Woodder? I know he likes to run his players into the ground, but we'll see if he's got any ideas. And looking at Grove, it's been solid without being spectacular. Some of the ratings look a bit inflated, but they're 2-0 up.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Isn't it? I mean, they don't seem to have had to work too hard looking at the stats there. There's only Solzia Jeremiah who's putting the tackles in, and he's 3 out of 4 tackles there, and the rest of them haven't really done an awful lot at all. But
I
yes,
remember when he first came in and was clearly a striker for Spurs, wasn't he, in the early days?
yeah, emergency striker he always got called, didn't he? And came off the bench, scored against Chelsea on his debut. But some good performances, assists by Cole and Berger. They're playing well. And Steve Finnan, I don't really know what he's done to deserve a 9 unless he's been dribbling around everyone. But yeah, you can't argue with that first half performance. No change from the Danglies.
No, nothing going on for Patrick Berger to be quite so highly rated. but obviously well done to him. 5 shots to 2 in the first half and 4 times as many shots on target. No Anthony Letalic. It is a bit early days for Letalic and Cinema. Cinema was in the squad, didn't he? But very early days of Anthony Letalic. He wasn't very good on this game, was he?
No, he was better on a next one, I think, wasn't he? He was pretty good on that.
Yeah, that'll be correct. He was pretty useful. Chances again for Grove straight away into this second half, and Lauren has had a chance to score. Steve Fennon's up to a 10. Steve will be loving it. And Luis Garcia gets close to getting that bag that he was looking for. McAteer, Traore, Pellegrino, all on 5s. Milan Baros and Steve Staunton, the outfield players who are performing slightly better. Luis Garcia going to need a sick bag before too long in this condition. But what would you do in this position, Quentin?
I'd just change things up because they've not really looked like scoring, have they? So, I mean, there's not an awful lot of attacking talent on the bench. The only forward they've got is El Hadj Diouf, and we know what he was like for those. He's coming on for Barros, although Barros is the best performing one. Offers something a little bit different. And I'd maybe stick Zidane on for Luis Garcia. I think with him having a knock, but if Wood is going to back Garcia to score, maybe it's another person to come on.
Yeah, I don't 6.33 as an average rating in the terms of this squad isn't too bad. It's considerably down below where it should be, but it isn't too bad for the squad. I will leave it for Wooder to see if he wants to make another sub. We'll look at over at Grove. Cole hasn't scored, so we know the drill there. And in terms of teams, they've got a game in 3 days. Paulson from McAteer has been made as well at this point.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's just worth shaking it up a bit when they're getting outclassed. They're not looking like score. It's not like they're battering Grove, is it? So yeah, just change it up and
they have
hopefully
games in 3 days as well. So yeah, it's time to make to ring the changes. So John Curtis is probably the most like
get Robert on. It's on the left, isn't it?
Left hand side, and look at the wrong side. Of course, I was looking at the right hand side for Finnan. Yeah, Robert to left side there, completely making it up. Cole is coming off though because he hasn't scored, so Silva comes on, leaving it at the 2 changes. But there's Merson to replace Berger next game, I guess, isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's it. And then Merson can score, can't he? That's what the fans want.
There we are. So 2 subs for Danglies and 1 sub for Biker Grove. With half an hour left of this game, the man of the match has come off the pitch. Unless Patrick Berger can get an absolute world-class last 20 minutes.
Oh, D'Alessandro, he's on the 9, isn't he?
No, he's up there as well. Grove make it 3, and Laurent Robert scores, and D'Alessandro's up to a 10. So he's the dark horse for it. Pellegrino's dropped down, but Traore at one point had picked up to a 6. This is comfortable for Grove. David's here. Good evening, David. You arrived at the perfect time to see a set of goals tonight, I think. But it looks like it's 4. It is 4, and Dario Silva gets it. 3 10s. D'Alessandro makes it 5, and D'Alessandro does take the man of the match. 5-0 to Grove. Danglies. Now, I mean, what that result does, I'm pretty sure, is if these teams were relegated, all the bottom 3 would now be down.
Well, it was a great performance from Grove, wasn't it? I mean, 5-0, convincing all the way through. And I've got to apologise to Danglish because I backed the Grove substitutes to be not performing tonight, and they both come off the bench and scored and got 8s and 9s. But what a performance! D'Alessandro, 2 goals and an assist. Smertein played well. He was due a good performance. Everyone's contributed to that, and the only players who aren't on an 8 are Zivkovic and Campbell in defence, and that it just shows how little they've had to do.
Steve Finnan made 7 dribbles. I was trying to work out what he'd done that was so spectacular, but 7 dribbles going down with the Danglies. Yes, savage, very good. Dominant, absolutely dominant. And look at that. Yeah, everyone did pick up to at least a 5 by the end. But I mean, Dean Saunders would be proud of this.
Well, yeah, Dean Saunders wouldn't get anywhere near those sort of ratings, would they? We got the 1-7 for Barra, so an excellent prediction from Wooder. It just shows, doesn't it? Igor Bischon with the double figures for headers and tackles he's attempted, but he wasn't even 50% for either of those. He's a one-man band in midfield, got a 6. Steve Staunton tried to put himself about, but it's they've just been outclassed today. It's just one of those where Grove have performed from the first whistle, performed excellently throughout the team, and that there's not really so much you can do when a team's performing like that against you. Excellent result for Grove.
And they did it with less than 10 shots on target, and certainly a little bit of a walkover in our first game of the day. Grove 5, Danglies 0. This is one of the big games tonight, isn't it? This one. We'll play this one. We'll leave the other one for match 6 of the night. Really versus Atleti. Last match for Really, they beat Dalgety Rangers, as you mentioned earlier, 3-0. And last time these two teams played each other, though, Atletico New Mills won 2-1. A time when Atleti played the more standard formations and Really were experimenting with their 3 at the back in the sort of wide positions. For today, they've gone for 3 standard centre-backs.
Yeah, I don't know what formation they played last time. I missed the formation when they played the last game. Did they go for this formation
This
last time
formation,
out?
yeah, the only change sees Kieran Dyer drop out for Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, it's you'd argue that's a slight improvement when you're bringing in Vieira for Dyer. Dyer's got a bit of scrap, particularly with his teammates in there, but Vieira offers a bit more quality. It'll be interesting to see how they get on. You see Giggs and Becker running into those attacking midfield positions. Van Nistelrooy and Viduka are a dangerous partnership up front, and they've got some strength in the middle of the park too, haven't they? So they are two fairly evenly matched teams, I would suggest, and really are coming off the back of an excellent performance last time out, so they should have a bit of confidence. There's nothing in there that shows any weakness, I don't think.
No, it's strong as you'd expect from a team that really have been in the ascendancy recently. They weren't considered to be a top 4 team earlier in the season, but have picked up some form. Atletico New Mills were a team that were up there in the top 3 for quite a while, weren't they? Last time out, losing 3-2 to Trumpton in a big game. But today, same formation and I believe the same lineup.
Well, I don't think it is, because David Collins got 2 goals last time out, and he's not in the 16.
Yeah, there have been a couple of changes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
I presume he's not fit, is he, Collins? Is that why he's out? It's big call.
Yeah, let's have a little look at what's going on there. Collins was replaced by is it Ronaldinho? I have been sent the messages. I have done the changes. It's Ronaldinho for Collins and Sigalko in for Solskjaer. That's the 2 changes we've got.
Yeah, well, you can't argue with Sigalko going for Solskjaer and putting Solskjaer on the bench, but I'm surprised Collins isn't on the bench at least. Ronaldinho does strengthen the team in theory, but say Collins performing on the back of that 2 goals last time out, you'd expect him to at least make the bench. But I say it's an excellent team throughout. Again, it's going to be a close match, this one, and despite really having that excellent victory last time out, I wouldn't back against Atleti on this one either. I'm gonna sit on the fence on this one as well and call a draw, just because I like both teams and the seem evenly matched.
And anyone else, of course, any point you can make predictions. Don't have to wait for me to say anything. Good evening, Fife. You're here. You've just missed, a textbook Danglies performance. Grove 5, Danglies 0. So predictions are here with Andres Kovacs refereeing. Did he referee last match as well? Or was it Stefan Wittberg? I think it was. I've just seen Fifey sent in his team for Fridays. He's very eager to see what the Flamingos can do. Splinter Fortuna. Splinter.
Is it because I'm a rat? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Must be some words.
It's not. It's not for breaking the news about the Iraqis not playing the 5 Newcastle players last time, right?
No,
Is that why I'm a rat?
Sitting on the fence, it will be, yes. Now we get it. Here we go. Yeah, Iraqis who were going to play 6 tonight until something came up there. So I think you're the only one making a prediction, and so the rest of them are, I don't know.
You did say predictions at any point there, didn't you? If I were them, I'd wait till the 89th minute and stick one in then.
Any point pre-kickoff would be fantastic. Anyway, let's get it going, and we are immediately set with a goal from Patrick Vieira, recalled to the lineup, and Viduka makes it 2-0. This is quite the start from Really. Not bothered again for the prediction from the Kewells had a chance. I mean, Fabian Barthez, he's on a 4. He's conceded 3.
He's on a 3 now.
He's on a 3 after 14 minutes. It's 3-1 though. What a game. Van Nistelrooy scored, then Veron scored, and then Giggs has scored. It's 4-1 after 20 minutes.
I'd be taking Barthez off at this point.
Well, I can't do anything till 45. There isn't an instruction to do it either. I will take a look. I think it's 60 minutes, but not at 45. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is pretty incredible. This match. Barthez on a 3. I think, has he made a save? 6-4. 5 if you go for prediction to the away team for this one. But half time it's slowed down somewhat, and 4-1 at half time. Wow.
It only seems to be slowed down because they didn't seem to have many shots after that point, did they? But Giggs following up his 10 last time out with a 10 this time. I mean, Vieira coming back in for Dyer, scoring straight away, and a goal for each of the strikers as well. So excellent attacking play from Really. Atleti are shell shocked, really, aren't they? But 5 shots on target, 4 goals. It tells all you need to know about Bartez's performance, doesn't it? He has been absolutely shocking, and there's not a lot you can do on this. It's, I mean, he needs to start performing, doesn't he? It's this one looks like it's all over, but Atleti have plenty of quality, so they could come back if they score early on. But that's absolutely terrible from Barthez. You've got to feel sorry for the Atleti manager here.
And Mike Savage, you get a 3 for bringing out the half-time oranges. Yes, I think you actually would. Giggs has 3 assists and a goal in the first.
I just got distracted by Steve's comment above Mike's about the splinters in my rectum. so yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy it. It wouldn't count as pain for me. But yeah, 3 assists for Giggs and a goal. He's contributed to all of them, man. He's played really well despite his personality. Southgate on a 6 again just shows he's not had an awful lot to do at the back, doesn't it? Yeah, excellent first half performance from those guys, and they've been absolutely clinical.
Please stop talking. Stop talking about football. Yes, stop talking about the thing that we're watching in text form. Barthez. I mean, wow, it is the single worst first half goalkeeping performance I think we've seen this season in terms of a rating. We have seen Tony Warner concede a lot of goals for Anglers against Stackington. We have seen Barthez, Costanzo concede a lot for Stackington. But this
did Warner get a 2 in that game? I think he might have got a 2.
He went off at 60 minutes with a 2, but there were some second half goals in there before he went off.
David Day got a 3, I think, in one game for me, so that wasn't so good. But I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was 4-1 at half time in that game. He's had a shocker, hasn't he? And I think we'll have to pull the keeper if he's still performing badly after 60 minutes. He's probably got to go on this one.
Yeah, we have an instruction at 60 minutes, so we'll stick with that one. And for Really, they don't make first half subs, barring any absolute injuries going on anywhere. So we'll
looks like Ronaldinho's got a knock as well for Atleti. So again,
he would hit the criteria at that point as well. Yeah. So
yeah, it's not their day tonight, is it?
Atleti broke Barthez. Yeah, I mean Barthez was injured earlier this season, when there wasn't a sub keeper. So at least Mike Taylor's there.
I mean, the clue was when the Real E players came out and started kissing Barthez on the head before the game, wasn't it? You knew something was up, and he's repaid him tonight so far.
He had a bit of a Blanc expression. So into the
that's terrible.
Into the second half, it's 4-1. They are surviving a little bit more of the game, and it was nearly a chance for a 5th goal. And then going forward, Michael Hughes, it's disallowed. Real E for substitutes. Let's have a look at Matt's substitutes here. Whoever's playing worse or injured of the two strikers, well, Van Nistelrooy's on a 7, unless Viduka is injured. So Van Nistelrooy will come off, and Jimmy will come on. Dyer for Beckham or Veron. Neither of them are injured. And match rating wise, Beckham's on a 7, Veron's on an 8. So that would make sense for Dyer to come on. He's eager to get on the ball. There we are. 2 subs.
Would be interested looking at players that scrolling to the bottom. Just it's Dean Saunders. It is Dean Saunders. It's got to be. Sure.
Unfortunately, he only goes to 75 players, doesn't it? I think it only goes to 75. So looking at this one, Barthez, what's he on now? Is he still on a 3? Yep, he's on a 3. So he'll come off. And Mike Taylor will come on. And Ronaldinho will go off because it's 82%. So his position there, I mean,
this is where you cry. David Collins, you're crying out for, aren't you? But well, it's either him or Barry Ferguson into centre mid, Veron into attacking mid, just to be more natural a little bit.
Barry Ferguson, Rihalati will have to come on as well. So we'll bring on Barry Ferguson, and we'll bring on Rihalati because Gattuso needs to come off as well.
Yeah.
So there's some changes.
It'd have been interesting to see if Hughes' goal hadn't got disallowed, they might get back into it, might they? But it's probably beyond them now. They're just hoping to save face and save a bit of goal difference.
Can they save anything? Can Mike Taylor make a save? That's the question, isn't it? And it's 4-1. There's been very, very few chances in the second.
He's on a 7.
He's started like a dream, hasn't he? But this is a very, very dull second half. Other than the disallowed goal, we've had very little going on. It's comfortable, really picking up the 3 points no matter what happens now. And yeah, the game has just passed by, hasn't it? A late chance for Ferguson, and that's it. So a dull second half, and I think Atleti will be reasonably pleased it was such.
Yeah, I mean, the solidified, didn't they, later on, and Barthez has been terrible. He's got to be dropped next game, I think, with a performance like that. There's nothing you can really do in that sort of stage. I said before the game that the two fairly evenly matched teams based on the starting lineups, but when your keeper's not a world beater like Chris Kirkland, then there's nothing you can do. I mean, really didn't have a shot on target in the second half.
There was only one shot on target in the second half, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of them performances where they've tried to shut up shop and keep the ball away from Fabian Barthez, haven't they, from early doors? But to be 4-1 down at that stage in the game is shocking performance from the goalkeeper. Excellent performance from really early on. They did what they had to do, got in front and just took it easy, didn't they? Saving themselves a little bit for next time out.
Yeah, 3 days till their next match, and looking very, very strong. Looking like they could really challenge that 3rd place in the table. And for Atleti, that's just a game to forget. I mean, Yapstam has played well. Veron has got a 7, and that's about as good as it gets.
I mean, Ferdinand's not done too badly either at centre-back. He's won plenty of headers, won 3/4 of his tackles, but he's only got a 6. They've just been let down by a poor goalkeeper performance, and you've got to feel sorry for the manager by if his goalkeeper's on form, it's a completely different result, isn't it? It's a tough one to take, that.
Yeah, Big Noopy usually here for the shows, but said tonight he couldn't make it on this one. I think
Fabian Barthez couldn't either, could he?
Slightly relieved at this point. I think it's because Mike Duff isn't playing at the moment, and Duff was the one who replaced Blanc by kissing Barthez' head earlier in the season. So that's it. What's 5 pieces of brown shirt? What's going on? It's a strange one, isn't it? Trumpton versus Roundhay, another big game for tonight. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest ones. And Trumpton, after last time, they won 3-2, of course, against Atleti. And last time they got destroyed by Roundhay in the league. But the formation they played was that one versus a standard Roundhay one.
And they had Vieira sent off after 23 minutes, which didn't help, did it? So it's a completely different game tonight. They've they've overloaded the right hand side at the back there, so it's an interesting formation again. But they look solid at the back, don't they, with those 6 in defensive positions and let the 4 up top do some damage.
Yeah, I think it looks an interesting one. I think Big Kid says the tactic's a bit boring, is how he describes it, but with the shorter turnaround between games this time round, he's not quite had the chance to experiment with something he wants to experiment with.
I wouldn't say boring. It's not his usual outlandish one. I still like what's set here. I think the only thing really with the team here is Kivu's probably not the most natural attacking left back. He doesn't normally bomb forward. Hence him with a score and assist now. Probably not have said that, but you'd be looking for someone who's a bit more attacking to be in that position. I would think, but. That's a strong lineup all over, and Kivu's a solid enough player. He's just not going to get forward too much.
And up against another strong side as well in Roundhay, who last time round beat Radaby 3-1. I'm pretty sure contract has been offered to Ashley Cole. Beckham is unhappy. He's
How much did you offer Ashley Cole?
An insult. I think he actually was offered about $5,000 a week, to be honest.
Swerve off the road, didn't they? So Mike picking up on Trumpton there. They're taking the Danglers lead with nothing in midfield. So.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Nothing in that centre midfield or even left and right mids. Roundhay have got Elgari in the first team, which is quite rare, isn't it? In fact, it's his first start of the season.
Yeah, I don't really remember Elgaro too much on the game, and obviously he's not played too much in this one. And he's an excellent player in real life, wasn't he? It's just I don't know how he translates across in this one. He was pretty good on other versions, just not sure about 01 or 02. But I like this little formation. It looks a bit like a Space Invader, doesn't it? A little bit they've got set up there, and plenty going forward, solid at the back. Yeah, I'm gonna back Elgato to have a good performance tonight, but it's again close one. This one, I think after Trumpton's result last time out, I'm just gonna tip them to win by 1. So I'm gonna back goals. I'm gonna say 3-2 to Trumpton.
3-2, and so the fence has been abandoned.
The fence has been abandoned. There's no splinters anymore. Nothing else is going up my rectum. Does anyone else want to make a prediction for this one?
Want to make an entry?
Yeah.
There's Fifey. Fifey goes straight onto that fence after you've gone off.
1-on-1. That's what he's after. Yeah.
2-0 as Tato enters the scene, getting in Tato. 2-0 to Trumpton. Savage going 2-0 to Roundhay.
He's back in the yellow team, isn't he? Mike's going with the yellows like the Otis.
It's possible, isn't it? Yeah. It's a close one. It is a close one. Surely we can't have another 10-goal, another 5-goal game like we've had in the first 2 for today. Surely we'll go into this one. The goal tally is high. Will we get goals in this one, or will we get anything? There is something happening after just over 10 minutes. Riquelme puts the ball over, and then it's gone quiet again. I think he's going for Trumpton. I'm sure he called them that earlier on. Yeah, he did earlier in this one. Chances, and Sigalko makes it 1-0. Maxime Sigalko 1-0 to Trumpton, just around halfway into the first half. It's a game of sort of fits and starts, isn't it? It doesn't really push into anything hugely exciting. But Joe Cole has equalised not long before half time. Hopefully the game will spring to life in the second half a little bit more. And Gerrard puts it off target, and Van Nistelrooy is taken down by Nestor, I think. And then a late chance the game did pick up in the final 5 minutes. I don't know what's going on with Riquelme at the moment, but I mean, Trumpton rating-wise are edging it, but we're at 1-1.
Yeah, just like before I sat on the fence, really, it's a tight one. The players on Trumpton are edging it out. The Barry Ferguson had an 8 early on. He's tipped down a little bit now, but Vieira and Sigalko on 8s. Like you say, Riquelme is not at the races is it, today for those, but they'll be pleased to go in 1-1 at half time. I think looking at the player ratings, I think the stats will probably tell a similar story. Really, it's been tight. There's not been too many chances in there, but the teams have been relatively clinical when they've had shots at goal.
Yeah, it's been. Well, let's have a look at the shots on goal. Yeah, 1 shot for Trumpton and 5 with only 1 on target. There's been no saves. No saves at all. I don't know if Jim is here or he just said a quick hello and then ran off. I do have his sub things there, so if he doesn't come on, we'll take a look at their squad first anyway. As it stands, it's a 60 minutes that he's going for, but obviously he's here. You can go. There we are, still here. So Jim, let us know if you're after any changes with that. I mean, Gerard's putting some tackles in. Elguera's putting them in, but not successfully.
Yeah, he's not one of his headers either, had they? Either of those in midfield. Assist for Beckham, so he's performing okay. Riquelme's just been off target with his shots and didn't win his header, so that's probably why he's performing so badly.
Quite possibly with that. And then we look at the Trumpton side and Vieira being typically dominant. Give Riquelme until 60. Yeah, we will do. And yeah, Trumpton for subs tonight. I can't think of what's Big Kid said for his subs.
Yeah, Vieira's on 85, isn't he? So he's the one who's looking like he's maybe picked up a knock, but he's got an 8. So again, it might be till 60, is it?
We'll go to 60 with both teams. Actually, he says give Riquelme till 60. Take the other 10 off. We're into the second half, and Barry Ferguson's come forward and a chance for Trumpton. There has been a save. Van der Sar has made a save finally. And then Sigalko takes it on a few players and has a go, but it doesn't quite get in there. And we are at 59, but it's about as close as we can get there to 60. Yes. So Roundhay, in terms of ratings, Riquelme still a 5. Fitness wise, we've got Elguera 82 and Ferdinand Nicole 85. Back to the ratings again for Jim.
Yeah, I think Riquelme's had another shot off target, hasn't he, at the start of this half? It doesn't look like his game today. There's plenty of quality on the bench to shuffle things up in there, and Alan Smith's on there as well. Rui Costa for Riquelme is probably what I'd have done at this stage as well. It's he's just having one of those performances, and you'd have to watch John Terry a little bit on his yellow card, isn't he? It's interesting to see if he stays on, but still in the game, both teams.
Hasn't Jim got good manners? Saying please in both bits there. It's lovely to see that sort of thing going on. Very nice. If I could give bonus points out, I still wouldn't. But it's. Was it Roy Keane he waited on? Roy Keane. I think that's the sub that he actually wanted. Any other changes, Jim? Just let us know. We're going to go to look at the Trumpton subs and see what he's doing there while you're doing those. This is on 5. And yeah, unlike so. So Vieira's going to come off, isn't he, at this point? And I think Njai would be the best option.
Yeah, he's the most natural replacement, isn't he, out of those? And Duff's on 82%. Nesta's gone a 5 and a yellow, so there's a couple of candidates here, isn't there, for a hooking as well?
I know he doesn't like to usually take off defenders, doesn't he? Let's have a look at Big Kids things here. So if Ferguson comes off, taking away Njai, but he's not going to happen. Ratings wise, Nesta's on a yellow card, a 5, but I don't think he'll come off. If Maxim comes off, if Ferguson comes off, apart from that, the usual instructions. Duff is on a potential foot injury. There isn't really a right-sided one there. I mean, Henri would be the one to come off, wouldn't he? Henri withdrawn, and Maxim comes off, put Bergkamp on. So let's bring on Bergkamp for.
Yeah, I'd stick Bergkamp on out of those sub options, I think, and likewise I'd have brought Okaranko on for Duff if there was any problems in there. But it's I think Bergkamp gives him a little bit more impetus going forward, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think to use a third sub at this point would probably be a little bit much. I think with it being so poised and goalkeepers can go, can't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Frey can. Frey's got a punch on for a red.
and Sigalko scores immediately. So it's 2-1 to Trumpton. He's his second of the game. He's not been prolific for any team in the league really this season, but he's doing all right today, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing really well, isn't he? And Duff's up to a 9 as well. Perhaps he got an assist.
It's quite
Right, leaving him
possible.
on.
Well, I'm not going to take any credit for that. For leaving him on there. I tend to make more. People want more attacking than defensive subs. I think when it comes to game changing, except Bartes to come off, and it's into injury time almost now, and Sigalko has made it a hat trick just before that, so he gets his third and comfortable win in the end for Trumpton. Well done.
Yeah, good result for Trumpton. Apologies to Jim. I backed Elgaro to have a good game, and he's been terrible. Joe Cole had a good game for Round Table. That's the only saving grace, really. They were just outclassed, I think. If you look at that Trumpton performance, everyone's on 8s or 9s, a majority, aren't they? And the ones who are on 7s are either picked up an injury or been in more defensive positions. So yeah, I think Jim summarised it there. It's not the best performance from their lads, but Trumpton had put an excellent performance in. 3 out of 6 shots on target resulted in a goal, and Round Dave just being wasteful, and particularly Riquelme. I don't know if he got anything on target before he was hauled off.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We
So
get 11 passes on target.
yeah, there you go. Well, it's just one of them games, isn't it? It's Ronaldinho's lived up to his jumping reputation. Joe Cole's played well, but other than that, they've just been outclassed all over the pitch. So it's difficult when you're up against a team that's got plenty of quality like Trumpton's has, despite the quality of Round 10. If your team's not the best and the other is, it's really hard to get back into it.
Yeah, it is. Once one or two players drop it, then it's a bit tricky, isn't it? Yeah, Dan, feel free to check the edit yourself. It's been there all season for you to have a little look at. The files are there on the drive. So, I mean, you're more a defensive mid, aren't you, for Twitter Champ when they were playing back in the day? Be good to see that finish off at some point. Hey, stay, get you and Dimble back on for a final goal with that one.
Yeah, some would argue the Sigalko problem's a picnic problem rather than anything to do with the editor skills.
Picnic problem.
Problem in chair, not in computer. As in, it's the manager's responsibility in that case.
I was trying to think what the picnic problem is. Is it a level on micro machines? I think it's one of the he went back in the micro machines racing, and I think it's one of the levels on that. Yeah, I'm sure it was one of those.
Weirdly, I know what level you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it might be Micro Machines 2, but it could be the original one. Micro Machines 2 was the best one, and V3 was pretty good as well. Anyway,
good win for Trumpton.
Trumpton V3 around here. Micro Machines original. Good. 3 games in, 14 goals into this one, which has been saved. So we'll go on to the Stackington game now against Gondor, the nothing match. Micro Machines did have a picnic table. Yeah, it did indeed. It also had a breakfast table and all sorts of stuff going on in it. So last time out that Stackington played, they got their second consecutive 1-1 draw against Blues for the season. And last time they played Gondor, it was 5-0, and Roger Freestone had been hauled off at half time. So, are they hoping for similar? It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. But, yep, the team's back to almost, if not full strength side.
Yeah, it's a quality team, isn't it? And I think last time Gondor had Shefki Kuchi out with an outing. He's not made too many appearances, has he? So I don't. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't expect a repeat of a 5-0 because you never know, do you, with Gondor sometimes. But I wouldn't expect Roger Freestone to have a 4 again.
It's Gary, I think, in goal, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, he's been performing all right in recent weeks, hasn't he? But yeah, it's a strong team, isn't it? You've got there. There's plenty of quality in there. Everyone's bombing forward. I'd like to see Ndiaye get into that defensive midfield role as well, just a little run forward into there. But Yahaya's been in good form up front. Van Nistelrooy's played really well, hasn't he, last few weeks, and got a few
He's
goals. And
really sort of settled as an attacking mid for the second half of
average
the
rating of
season.
8 throughout the cup and the league. And I'd fancy a gap to maybe get at least an assist tonight. So 0-27 is a prediction for Mike. He's in early with the predictions, so it's you better not let him down there, Dan.
27 nil. We'll hope for the best there. Obviously, when I talk about full strength team, Elber, Paolo Sergio, Silvestre, Duff might get in more teams than some of these players, but this is a team I aim for to play at the moment. Possibly Kamuna should be playing a bit more this season, but who knows? And of course, Barthez there on the bench. Very tough for Swan. One slight bit of relief for Swan this week is that Makalele's back. So Lacey drops into Roberts' position on the subs bench.
Yeah, Makalele and Paulo Sousa are decent defensive mids, aren't they? It's it's early days in Makalele's career. He's only got a couple of French caps, hasn't he, at this point, I think. Is that right? Yeah,
Swedish,
2 caps for France.
Yeah.
So he's only just come into it. So he's not quite his devastating best yet, breaking up play in the Conte position. But Trundle and Romo could provide a bit of threat with their runs forward. Nardiello didn't show an awful lot, did he, last time? And Big Mama sat on the bench ready to change things up if needed. But yeah, Van der Hoed at right back. He's played well earlier this season in more forward positions. He's maybe got a few more assists a couple more assists from a right back position, but I'd maybe stick him a bit further forward in this team because he's the one person who provides a bit of threat from the flanks.
Yeah, just checking for this. It says, can you keep the same team unless Makalele's back if he is replace Lacey for him? So I'm just doing the swap as it is.
Yeah, Makalele doesn't run forward, does he? That's the thing. He's never run forward in his life as Legrand Sotti. So
yeah, and Paulo Sousa to me is not a defensive mid, is he? He's more of a central mid, so it makes more sense.
Yeah, he's a bit more creative, isn't he, than Claude? And I mean, finishing 7. I imagine Makalele's got 0 for finishing.
I bet it's 10. 13.
Yeah.
13. Wow. There we go. So, Roger Freestone out of the team. Savage goes 27-0. What did you say? Have you said anything?
I haven't said anything yet, but I'm gonna say 1-4 in this one. I think it is a tough one for Gondor against a team of Stackington's quality, but we'll see how they get on. Hopefully, Garay can play better than Freestone did last time in this fixture.
Yeah, more about footed was the point there. Paulo Sousa being either footed, Makalele being right footed. I can understand that sort of point there. But I suppose centrally, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters too much if they're playing centrally for the teams. And like the height doesn't matter, does it? Height has absolutely no bearing on the game because height is not written into the database, so you can play 2 tiny strikers and the game doesn't know.
It's only on the heading and jumping stats, isn't it, for those?
Yeah, that's all it is there. But it's ready to get cracking on this one. 3 for me. 3 what? Just 3.
I think he's predicting what Quinn will get rated at in this game.
3 for Barthez. Quinn versus Willie. What a battle this one is. Commentary seemed really slow. And Van Nistelrooy's put one over the bar for Stackington. Chance there. Yahaya's missed as well. And the ball coming forward for Gondor. Milevsky takes a yellow card early on in the match.
Yeah, I won't miss again. He's been in good form, hasn't he?
The game's just creeping along. It is, and Yahaya's had a good save from Gary. And he's now put one wide. He missed again.
Cursed him.
Van Nistelrooy gets the opening goal. There's been a lot of shots, but they are missing a lot of shots. And Said, I think, was put there as well. He was. And coming in towards half time, Gondor equalised, but disallowed Frank Lampard. And half time approaching. An injury to Kevin McLeod. Oh, is he Grand Designs guy?
Yeah, he is.
So we'll have to do a bit of designing of the team here. Williams is I mean, Williams is probably the man to come on, isn't he? And
Can
moving
Coleman play
Coleman
left
out
back
to
as
left
well?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to have to happen.
Willie is holding firm in defence. That's right, Woody. He is looking solid.
That is going to have to be the change because no one else can play left back in the team.
Well, is Fifey still part of the Gonto management setup?
This season I'll let it be. Yeah, this season I'll let it be. But next season, he will be in sole charge of his own team in the same division. So I will let it happen for this season. There
Do you
we
think
go.
Flamingos will be relegated?
No, 5 years trash. Yeah, it's quite unbelievable. I don't know. Will Flamingos be relegated? I always feel like I would have put that Flamingos relegated banner back up again just before half time.
Oh, and Gamera's got a goal, but I mean, he was on a 5 before that. It's a good job you weren't watching that,
I
isn't
wasn't
it?
watching. I was checking. I was ready to make a look at the substitutes, and Gamera scored and made it 2-0. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, it's deserved, isn't it? There, the 2-0. I think it probably reflects the game a little bit more. But I mean, there's nothing really outstanding, is there? Gat's got an 8. Van Nistelrooy's on an 8. So Gamera was performing poorly before that. He had a 5, I think, at the point when Kevin McLeod had gone off, and McLeod was the best performing Gondor player outfield. There's only Willie Garay with an 8 who's doing well. So yeah, it's probably fair on the balance of play so far, and Gondor might be counting themselves a little bit unlucky to have Lampard's goal disallowed.
What was it disallowed for? Romo's offside. So yeah, whether he's interfering with play or not, let's say for the benefit of the doubt, yes. Gondor, in terms of how things are going for them, Trundle's on 88% more 6. And if there's a 5 there as well for Nardiello, who's proving to be every little bit of the star he is at the moment.
Yeah, I'd pull him for Big Mama later on if it stays the same at 60 minutes, just to give a bit of a different threat from crosses maybe. Fallon for Lamp, swap with Nard.
So, oh right, yes. So Nardiello to move back into that's my team. So Lampard to come off for Fallon and to swap with Nardiello. There we are.
It's a bit harsh, that, isn't it? Because Nardiello's performing terribly.
And Lampard scored.
Lampard did get the goal disallowed. So
if it was biased refereeing, then you just Frank Lampard scored a legitimate goal and you subbed in there 5 anyway, Stackington. I mean, as it is now, it could be about preservation for the next round of games, but we'll go to 60 minutes and then make
yeah, we've got an
changes.
assist for a Gat and
I never even let you look at the team now. I just thought, let's get on. But you're right.
Yeah, no, they're all performing well out there. There's dominated. Most of the tackles have been won. Assist for a Gat as predicted before the game, but yeah, there's been no trouble. Yahya just needs his shooting boots on. He's got his boots on the wrong feet, a bit like Riquelme had in one of the earlier matches.
Indeed, and with a match against Grove coming up soon, they do need to get some shooting boots going on to Stackington to cope with them. So we're going to the second half. Balmer has scored straight away into this half. It's 3-0. The game is pretty much over, I would imagine, at this point. And Makaleli with a chance for Gondor. Subs are coming up, and Balmer scores a 4th for the team just before the subs. So, what would you do, and what's Pipey going to do?
Yeah, I said at half time I'd have brought Mame on for Nardiello, but I think at this stage probably Fife is going to take Gary off for Paul Williams and swap him with Nardiello. I think I think that's what the managerial instructions will be, because we've got players all over the park in wrong position, not performing well.
I mean, the
It's
one
going to be a
thing about
difficult
it
comeback.
is that Willie Guerre is on a 7, so it's not down to the goalkeeper, is it?
No, Chris Coleman, he's on a 7 too. So they're doing their best. It's just to come up against a quality team.
Yeah, any changes for you, Fifey? We'll do them. But obviously, take a quick look at the Stackington side. No one's got to a 9 yet. I'd imagine Balmer would get there very soon. In terms of subs, very little point with Sidney for Nadia. Well, there's a point. He's preserving Nardiello for next game, maybe, in case you can go for it. So CDB is on for Stackington to go for things here. I think
I think you're going to take Njai and Agat off you just to preserve them for next time out.
Van Nistelrooy was a temptation to take off, but you're probably right that I was going to leave one of them on, but I can't, can I? Agat,
Give you a chance to play Kamoon in defence, won't it, for Njai?
yeah, it's a perfect chance to play. There, do I make a third sub?
Yeah, do it. Game's won. Get Song Jong Kook on.
Let's bring
Oh,
Kirsten on for a double striker. And have Nicky
that's nice.
playing forward there in the big train. Big train. Oh yeah, nice. No.
No, I'll do it.
So 4-0 as it stands, and half an hour to go. Aggregate score of 9-0 to Stackington this season against Gondor. This is 18th goal of the day. Can there be any more? It's been a high scoring round. Agat went to a 9, Balmer's up to a 9, Van Nistelrooy up to a 9. So, and Saeed as well. So going generally pretty well.
Yeah, nice that a
Drops
couple of people are substitute. You can get better.
And it's a red card, and Kirsten is sent off, and he scored. It was disallowed.
Did he punch the ref?
Off. He's probably done something ridiculous, hasn't he?
I didn't see what he did. Maybe just swore at the ref potentially, but yeah, the Agat and Van Nistelrooy had both improved after going off the pitch. I think.
Yeah, they did, and
there must be excellent subs.
It's interesting. What was that sub? What's that sub all about? Well, it'd be interesting to have a look at the match report at the end of the game to see just what it was that happened. But he didn't last long, and that's effectively his season over. You know, Yavin and Tommy Mutton will be looking to get a place on the bench. Whatever's happened there. And Gondor have taken it to the side in the last few minutes, but 4-0 it is, and he's done something, hasn't he? Furious with the ref. Furious with the ref.
Probably just swore at him. That's it. It's. I mean, it's not too bad, is it? It's a strict referee. That's the problem.
Referee bias. Yeah, it's all a referee bias. In terms of shots, 7 shots on target to the 3 of Gondor. Gondor wasn't too bad for Gondor, really. They did give it a good game.
Yeah, I mean the difficulty is they got Lacey in at left back for most for half the game. They had Van der Hoon at right back, who's not a defensive player. Nardiello was terrible up front, and Paulo Sousa didn't have his best game. So it's hard when players are on form. They're just outclassed by a better team, really, there, haven't they? But it's as Fifey said, the disallowed goal was the game changer, because if that goes in, the heads go up and maybe Stackington's go down. It's a different game, isn't it? But yeah, there's a referee poor performance from him. Not very good at all.
It was so disallowed goal was a game changer. Not entirely convinced it was a game changer. Bearing in mind, it was 5-0 last time the teams met. It wasn't exactly close. And then Gondor robbed by the organizer of the Swemp or organizer of the Gondor tactical changes. It's certainly timing of the thing might have made the game a little closer. But with the performances of the players, I don't think necessarily it was super. Ulf Kirsten, though, has now finished his Stackington career with 4 matches to go. He will not play for the rest of the season, whatever has happened there. They've done all right. They've got the goals again, and potentially could be top 6 now.
Well, yeah, Atleti lost, didn't they? I think Gap two assists, excellent performance from him. Baumer 2 shots on goal, two goals. Gamera was pretty poor other than his goal. So he was on a 5 before that. Didn't really change. And Van Nistelrooy again, a goal and an assist from an attacking midfield performance. So Yahya up to an 8 as well by the end of the game. So it's looking good for Stackington. They've been in good form.
Yes, yeah, hitting form just as the team's about to change. Yeah, interesting. So, what we are, an hour and 5 in with these guys, 3 games to go. We'll be done within the 3 hour slot, so that's good. Los Aracas versus OTs, a game that Dan Hazard has been confident that his team is going to get destroyed in. He did pick a squad with 6 Newcastle players in, but with a late change after realising Ronnie Johnson was suspended, then we are down to 5 again.
Yeah, well, it's interesting in defence, isn't it? Because if Woodgate gets injured, then it's either Ribeiro or Shearer coming in unless we make a double sub. So
There
that'll
are
be
plans to go for a 4 at the back if a centre back comes off. But then it depends if a centre back comes off and it's Woodgate, though, it makes a difference.
yeah, that's it. It's just that Newcastle connection. But yeah, I like what he's done with his formation. We've gone for the Kieran Dyer plays an excellent run from that position. Kieran Boyer bombing on as well, and I like to see the attacking wide players there. Baumer and Agahawa. I think Agahawa's probably been a little bit underused by Iraqis this season. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how these get on. It's good change in shape. Obviously up against an Otis team who aren't the strongest in terms of ability, but Mr. Savage sets them up rather nicely. So we'll see what he's done today to his team.
Yeah, I assume the right okay is not in response to Wooder on about the ghost of dirty old Mike. It's definitely in response to his formation. I think it must be compared with that. It's gonna be an
Yeah,
interesting
I
game.
don't think it'll be expected, will it? It's it's an interesting change of formation from Dan. I like what he's done. He's gone attacking. He's going for goals against Otis. See how he's getting on. Good night, Jim.
Yeah, good night, Jim. Hope your angry toddler is less angry very soon, and you can come back if you want. We'll let you in. Good night. So Ortiz making some changes again. Last time they played, we were obviously beaten 5-2. I never looked at the meeting last time between them. 1-0 to Los Aracas, a Patrick Kluivert goal early in the match. And for today, they go with a team that I think is almost weirdly set to counter it without knowing what the formation was.
Yeah, Rocco and Baker down against Agahawa on that side. Um, it looks a solid setup, doesn't it, from Mike in this one? We've got Jackson out wide on the right hand side there.
Yeah.
Aspin's probably not the most mobile right back we've ever seen, is he? But
Taking a look with his 7 for pace, and then Baker on the other side with 10.
yeah, I mean, he, he's done the best job he can with such a team, hasn't he? I think the only question mark is can Marchant make a difference if he came in the team? But Morrison scored last time, didn't he? Or Mawson? I don't know. You pronounce him as Mawson, don't you? I think Barakat's the strongest player, like you've said, in attacking in terms of ratings, other than Big Jeff, and need another big performance from Whitley tonight to keep up his excellent recent form.
I have a feeling that he could do quite the job, Jeff Whitley today. Up
It does
against
look like he's gone for the genitalia formation as well. Yeah, I've just noticed that now you said it.
how do you get the left back and the defensive midfield left to not to outstrip like that?
It's just a natural
I
way to
believe
go, I
it's
think,
just
isn't it, in
standard.
those
Yeah,
positions? Yeah.
yeah, I think it is. It's you put them there, and yeah, it's just how it goes. I would assume if you had one there, he would go more, yeah, tuck in. So it's about looking like a 5.
It's spacing with us. If you stick Jeff Whitley into centre back, Baker will go further wide as well. It's
Yes, he does. Yeah, goes up there. So put him left mid. He would do the same. He would stay out wide. But
yeah,
yeah,
just like Jackson, isn't it?
he. Yeah, with Aspin, absolutely right. Yeah, so I've got the both managers are here. I'm looking on sub tactics and whatever, but both managers are here. So let's go for predictions.
I'm going to say I'm going to go for 1-4 in this one. Sorry, Mike, but I'm a Newcastle fan, so I like what Dan's done with his team.
Don't make my players do extra runs. It was their warm ups before the game, Mike. Yeah,
and the old car is refereeing this one. The old Morgan Norman. He's
not the bear in the little car. It is the old Morgan Norman, not the +4. Is it? If OT's on +4, will they manage to? Will the Rackers win?
well,
3-1.
Yeah, Mike's gone for the 3-1 victory.
And Woody goes 2-0 to Los Ketchup. See if they can get the win. Let's go for it. And at Pikelet Village, I'm sure that stadium name won't be kept for next season. It's 1-0. Kieran Dyer has scored. Gets the opener. And then the game slows down. Smith hits the top of the bar. And I think Otis like they're coming back into it a little bit. A little bit more. Baker taking the yellow card. Smith with a chance. Coming close. And we're nearly half an hour in. And Araka's again back on top. Not many chances. There was one there for Kerr, I think it was. And then Mawson puts one off target. And really, it's a lot of huffing and puffing and not a lot going on at this point. And Baumer comes off. That will be Robert in a straight swap, I imagine. Dan, is that the case? I would be pretty confident he would be.
Well, it'll make 6 Newcastle players, won't it? It'd be nice to see.
It'll make up for last time. If all the defenders on the pitch. Yep, you're right, Mike. The unfortunate thing is they are not quite good enough.
Well, they're keeping it tight, aren't they? It's just that run from Kieran Dyer in defensive mid has picked up the ball and slotted it home, hasn't it? It's Pikeland Village has just been flattened for multi-story car parking. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing Mike's team next season. It's
Carry piking.
It's tough, isn't it, to pick up a team like Otis midway through the season, and likewise, 5 for Flamingos picking up lost causes really. But the way they've been set up, both teams, is hope for the future with these.
Hope for the future, indeed. And Lee Bowyer scores, but it's disallowed. Imagine Dyer and Bowyer both being on target in the same game there.
They'll be fighting about who scored the best goal, won't they?
We go to Dan again to have a look through 16% Balmer, a potential knee injury. I think he's lost his kneecap. Rest of the team, that's where you're up to. They're doing okay. Quick look into OTs for Mike. And yeah, I mean, 6s for a lot of players, 89 for Adamides in terms of conditions. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely been one-way traffic for most of the game.
Yeah, it's a solid defensive performance from Otis. We can see them all on 7s or 8s, can't we? The back 5. Whitley was on a 7 early on. He's come down a little bit, but they're just not showing anything going forward, are they? And I think that just means the Rackers are dominating. They've got a fair few 7s and a couple of 8s on there. I'd expect it to turn the tide a little bit at some point. It's like Mike said, fine to 60 to carry on, and if they get a couple of shots in early on, it'll give them a bit of confidence in this half, and they're not out of it yet.
And it looks like Fifey's on his way out for the night. Thank you very much, Fifey.
Right, Fifey.
We'll see you on Friday, hopefully, for the next round of Division 1s. Dan?
A load of acronyms there.
Any changes? Let's see there.
I think Mike's going to 60, isn't he? I presume Dan's doing the same as you've been. I've been made a sub already.
I think I'm going to go to 60 anyway with that point. Yeah, he's could probably. I think he'd have responded by now. So chances, and Smith has hit the post this time. Coming reasonably close to a yellow card there for Michael Jackson.
Bad tackle.
Getting involved. And the substitutes are on their way, and we'll start off with OTs this time. Although Mike is a little bit faster. So I'll just go through these bits quickly. Willie Jamieson on 83%. He is not injured.
He's just old.
He is just old. Can you imagine sort of a Willie Nelson kind of player? Seeing the game and then you're off out to, you don't want to watch the top of the table clash. You don't want to watch the top of the table clash. Condition wise, but ratings and things, go 60. Yeah. Are you watching on a delay, Dan? We're at 60
Yeah,
right
maybe
now.
look at Dan's team now, and he'll be there before.
Yeah, you
Click
might
the
be on,
live button.
you might
Click
be on
live.
delay. If you click that live button, yep, you'll get to where we're up to. So the team here.
That's
the bottom
quite
of the table.
quite the opposite.
Yeah, it looks Mawson off, Ben's on. Mawson off. Oh, left, big horse. Mawson off. Ben's
Get marching on for Jackson.
okay, there's 5
Good defensive performance in there from Aspin and Jamieson though. I think Ortiz have been set up well, and they're defending well. They keep keeping them in it.
Yeah, of course. Us telling Dan to catch up. He's not going to be able to read it, is he? Dan, click the live button.
You can't be that far behind, surely. It's we've only had.
I think I'm delayed. There we are.
Any subs? Let's go into their formation. Let's see what we do at this point. Just plow it on. There you go.
Okay, right. We'll plow it on. So, substitute made. He says give it up to striker.
All right, best make that change. Wait a minute, that's Mike.
He's still 0-0. And it's one of those games where the ball isn't really getting shot too many times at this point. And Losaraka's definitely having more of the ball. Not doing a whole amount with it. Jackson just given makes a save. Called into action at that point.
Jackson should have scored that. Be looking at himself in the mirror tonight.
Let's get him to change his ways. And Bennett with another chance. Given makes the save again. Down the other end. Robert just wide. And 1-0 for the second time this season to Arakas versus Otis. Very close game. Otis got to take some heart out of that. And Arakas take the 3 points.
Yeah, it's a good result for Arakas, if not a performance, because they needed one. They've had a little bit of a dip in recent weeks against Anglis and Gondor. They've had some poor results. Walter Samuel playing very well in defence to get man of the match. But yeah, Ortiz, yeah, as Mike says there, we are very, very gutted. Set up well defensively. All the defence played well throughout, and they came forward a little bit towards the end there. And said Jackson should have scored really, possibly. Ben had a chance, I think, as well, and. Yeah, just a couple of good saves from Given, but they could have nicked a point there. So yeah, good setup from Mike. But as we mentioned many times, it is difficult when you dealt that bad hand, isn't it?
Beagle.
Jackson capturing the kids across the world. Oh, sorry, hearts and minds of kids. Yeah, lovely point there. Lovely point.
Legitimate Newcastle lads in the transfers.
Yeah, I'm not having that, Dan. So I'm a Newcastle fan, and you can't count Okoronkwo. I mean, Wolves can have Okoronkwo, that's fine, but Coco, no, absolutely not.
When just to remind everyone,
Good night,
was
Woody.
Okoronkwo at Wolves? Good night, Woody.
Okoronkwo was at Wolves. Was it 02 or 03 or 03 or 04? You see, I think he played maybe 12 games, dozen games there.
Was it in the Premier League or Division 1?
I think in the Prem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the Prem,
isn't it, that season? Yeah, I think.
But yeah, that's that. I mean, there's so many Newcastle players you can pick in. I mean, you can have a front line of Owen, Viduka, Clivert, Shearer. I mean, it's not a bad team, isn't it? The keepers are a little bit less good, but yeah, Coco did play against Yeading in, I think it was a 5-0 victory, wasn't it?
FFS. I don't remember that team, to be honest.
Yeading football squad. That's how they were known. That was even before Hayes and Yeading, was it? Or after Hayes and Yeading with DJ Campbell?
Yeah, I guess Hayes and Yeading was a merger, so it must have been before that. Yeah, not the
Owen is a shite, but he's 195 potential, I think, isn't he, on this game? So
Yeah, nobody's got Michael Owen in this league, which is quite the relief, to be honest. It's quite nice.
look at that. Walt's on defensive performance. So 10 out of 11 tackles, 5 out of 5 headers. Excellent performance from him. Boyer getting his tackles in with an 8, and Dye with a goal and score sheet. But yeah, good formation from Dan. He was attacking, but because of Otis' defensive job that Mike had set him up, is done really well there.
Very well played from both teams. Close game. And I think anyone who signs Michael Owen should have to put Neville Southall in the team as well.
And a 14-year-old goalkeeper.
13.
I don't think there's any 13-year-olds, is there? I think there's a 14-year-old.
David Carlson's 12 or 13 at the start of the game. He's not a goalkeeper. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, bring in Michael Bridges. I mean, that's an option, isn't it? Michael Bridges and Les Ferdinand and players like that could easily come into the team. This is the one that is potentially the title decider. What are they, 1 point apart going into this game?
I think that sounds right, doesn't it? Yeah, 51, 50, 52,
I mean,
51.
everyone else will be going, yeah, we can see the table right there. My screen is covering up the table there. So Benson and Hedges nicking from Mike Bassett.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Gary Wackett, he's in there as well. That's so Mike would probably have in defence in the OT squad.
So last time they played each other, Blues 5, Dalgety Rangers 1. And
It's because Dalgety Rangers were in red, wasn't it?
Dan stayed up late after his bedtime action. So good night.
Yeah, congratulations, Dan. Well done.
That was
yeah,
a
nice
long
one.
cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah, good result.
Good night, Dan. So 5-1 last time after his one score of the things there. Dalgety making a few lineup changes. Of course, Stephen Kloss back on the bench. It seems less like the cup lineup and more like the stronger bit. Two kids don't have that anymore.
Oh, I shouldn't be doing that with kids. I mean, going to the game there, Dalgety Rangers. It's a strong lineup, isn't it? I mean, it's a who's who of world footballers, isn't it? In this sort of time, they're all absolutely quality players they've got in there. So it's no surprise to see them at the top of the league. I mean, Nicky Forenko is probably the weak link, and we know how strong he is on this. So, there's quality over the pitch. You wouldn't expect a 5-1 repeat tonight in this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then you look at Blues, and it's almost like there's some cloning between the two squads, isn't there? You look at things. Last game for the Blues, of course, the 1-1 draw with Stackington, and I believe it's very little changes going on. I'm just checking what Dunning had said. Robin for Collins and Agahawa for Zambrotta were the changes.
Yeah, I don't like the Robin on the right of Nicky Forenko. I'd probably switch them over. But again, yeah, strong lineup in there. Again, Hoffland I'd put on the left of defence, being a left footer. But yeah, good lineup. I think a lot of this game will depend on Sten Johansson, the main man, the referee, who's a strict referee. And Blues have got a lot of players who, I mean, there's 9 we can see there away from one yellow card away from suspension. There's only 5 or 6 maybe
and
starting.
They play Gondor in 3 days' time. I mean, imagine having some of those players suspended and giving Gondor a little bit of hope.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This is one where I probably should sit on the fence, but for the interest of the league, I'm going to say Blues. I'm going to say 2-1 to Blues. It's tough to carve. Just put them out of heads or tails really, because they're both excellent teams, well set up. So could be anyone's result. David's gone for a 2-2.
Yeah, he's taken your place. Blues, not in blue.
Oh, I don't like that. I mean, it's better than the red of Dalgety, but that's it's not nice, is it?
No, and Sten Johansson, as you said.
Could have had a dark blue instead.
Well, we'll see how they get on. And straight away, yeah, it's really hard to read, isn't it? If Blues score, it might be a bit of a delay to see who it is. And Van Nistelrooy makes it 1-0 to Dalgety Rangers, who, of course, if they win, will go 4 points clear at the top. And it would set them up really well to finish the season off. Dalgety 2 up with Van Nistelrooy with his second in the game.
They're out for revenge, aren't they?
Yeah, will they get a 5-1? Van Nistelrooy scores again, but it's 2-1 this
Hat-trick!
time.
Oh.
What a first half it's been for Ruud Van Nistelrooy. He's scoring all the goals. And can we get a fourth before the interval? No, we can't, but it's been a good start. Well, these teams have been very, very consistent in their sub approaches this season. We've got, it certainly looks like it's going the right way in terms of how the teams have been playing. It's been all right, hasn't it? Dalgety will be making no changes at half time based on their stuff.
Yeah, well, Dalgety are living up to the name of the stadium, aren't they? Concede first shot arena, because Blues have put their only shot on target in the back of the net. I mean, it's a rarity to see Ruud Van Nistelrooy score in Division 2. Hopefully there's a bit less of him next season if teams revert to more of a concept squad rather than the Van Nistelrooys of all. But yeah, good performance in the first half from Rangers. Emerson's played well in midfield, hasn't he? He's getting plenty of tackles in on an 8. Nesta's doing well. I know you say Nesta's often criminally underrated, but he's got an 8 on this one, and the fullback's performing well as well. It was interesting to see midway through the half when Van Nistelrooy got to a lot of players. I think everyone else was on a 7 or below. For the rest of the Rangers team, there's only Van Nistelrooy on a 9. So they're not at their absolute best. They're coming into it a bit more in defensive positions because Blues are getting back into it.
Yeah, and Nicky Franco's looking a bit tired for Blues at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's 85, and it looks like he's maybe got a bit of a knock. He's not really showing much. He's attempted 5 headers, not won one. Attempted a tackle, not won it. No key passes, no assists, no shots. Yeah, it's one of those where you'd look to replace him with probably Collins. I would at 60 minutes.
Yeah, he looks like the ideal substitute to make there into the second half. Blues coming forward with chances, but don't know if they've been actually shooting. Robbins on a shot, saved by Frey. And again, chances coming in, but Dalgety holding firm. He hands and books one of the players. It's Lucio. I think he must be one of those. I don't know. I'll get you with all the yellows before actually.
It was Blues, I think.
Blues is all of them. Yeah. Well, Dalgety will be making one change, and it's Walter Samuel because it says 45, 5 or below, and 66 or below.
Oh, this is an interesting one because there's no real natural replacement, is there, at centre back? There's Zauri's defensive position, or Liverani's defensive mid, isn't it? So it's what?
I can't make the sub, so they will be going without any subs. There's no point making the sub
What?
for weakening the team.
Well, that's it. You'd have to move Zauri or Lizarazu to centre back, and it's not ideal, is it?
No.
So it's can't be happy in that one.
No changes there, and bad or tired at 60 for Blues. There's a fair few candidates, aren't there, really?
Yeah, Nicky Franco, I would put in the tired and potentially bad bracket. Zeriberto's always in that sense. I don't think that's a tired as such, is it?
No. And
I'd maybe take Robin off as well for Riquelme just to try and get back into it. He's on a 6, isn't he? So he's not performing too well. I don't know what his fitness was like, but it's the need to get back into the game somehow. And taking Lucy off's not going to change that.
no. So 2-1 with a bit of time to go. Collins has a chance. Okaronko takes a yellow card. And then we push into his last 20 minutes. It's 3-1 and Totti gets the goal.
Totti's first ever goal.
First ever goal for Dalgety Rangers.
Is that what he said? Yeah, I'm sure it said that.
That is quite the show, isn't it? We'll have a look at the end of the game. See how he gets on with that. And it's another one when Albert makes it 4. They might be very tired for their next match though. But they are holding firm. The 4-1 lead, can they make it 5 and get the exact revenge? 4 will do. 4 will do very good for them.
Yeah, look at the ratings there. They had an excellent second half, didn't they? Everyone pushed on. I mean, Nicky Franco was quiet for both teams really. Aymar didn't do a lot, and Samuel also didn't in defence for Rangers. But yeah, good performance from Van Nistelrooy. Totti, yeah, I think it was his first goal by the look of things. Emerson controlling things in midfield, and Zanetti playing well at fullback as well.
Yeah, this Totti's not played too many games, so it's his 8th game of the season compared to the 21st for Totti in the other team. Quick summary of Target Rangers.
Yeah, it's a good performance in there. I say Emerson's probably the standout man in midfield. Van Nistelrooy obviously got 2 goals and the plaudits, but two assists for Emerson, plenty of other contributions as well, and Totti
Yeah, very
goal
solid.
and assist, so he's done well there, yeah.
And for the Blues, they just weren't there today, were they?
No, other than Vieira, he's a major credit, hasn't he? 9 tackles out with 13, all his headers won. Van Nistelrooy again with a goal, obviously, but yeah, the defence were on form tonight. Buffon was particularly poor. Agahauer got an assist, so again a bit of credit to him. But just one of those, isn't it? It just shows how the teams are evenly matched. And we've had a 5-1 one win, a 4-1 the other over the course of the season.
So the league table, look at that for a round full of goals, apart from one match. It's certainly been a decent show for the
Yeah, 4 a
results.
night, isn't it? 4 a
Yeah.
game.
So look at that table with 4 games left. Dalgety couldn't confirm promotion in this round. In fact, 5th place can still finish on the same number of points. But it's got very close, and Real E have moved into the top 3. Stackington go 6th with their win and move Atleti to behind them. And in fact, they're now ahead on goal difference as well as points. 76ers have
Are
played.
you?
No, I'm not. You're right. I thought it said 4. Yeah, I completely misread that. Thank you very much. Not ahead there. And then, yeah, back into that bottom zone there. Grove have confirmed that they cannot finish lower than 11th place. Radaby, if they win against 76ers in their game in hand in a few rounds' time, it might put them ahead of Los Aracas, depending on how the results go next time. But yeah, the bottom
Yeah,
3 as
I
they
think I think I think performance of the night has to go to Grove, doesn't it? I know it was early on, so it
5
might be
0
forgotten about at
huge.
this stage. But 5-0, excellent performance, and in doing so, they've put the other 3 teams behind them into a position where they can't get out of the bottom 3, hasn't it? So it was yeah, morale boosting win, excellent performance, and there's some good performances all around. Like Dalgety Rangers, obviously with the 4-1 win, really with the victory again, and Trumpton, all had some big wins in there, but yeah, I think Grove have to have performance of the night.
So we still have one game to go. It's the UEFA Cup game that's coming up after this. With the league games next time, Atleti versus Dalgety Rangers. I mean, Atleti need to win, need to get themselves back up that table because 7th place is not quite good enough for that team, and it would stop DaGers potentially from sealing the title. Although it's extremely, well, not from sealing the title, from promotion, it's extremely unlikely they're not going to go up. Blues
What?
versus Gondors, a huge mismatch. Sorry, Quinton, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a couple of games that catch my eyes. I look Dangley's versus Otis down the bottom. Mike with a release clause in his contract. That'll be interesting to see him play that one out. But yeah, Dangley's Otis is a big game, isn't it? But yeah, round here, Real E as well. That could be a huge one in the battle for promotion.
Yeah, just to go back to the table and look at it, they are 2 points apart, and it could change that battle completely. Into the fixtures, we noticed that Trumpton don't have a game there. They play the Sunday against 76ers, so they actually have the most time off of any team other than Radaby heading into this round. They've got a fair amount of time, 4 days between their matches. Radaby coming back in playing Los Aracas, that is the massive game. That's the game I talked about. I didn't actually realise that was the next one coming up. A win for Radaby puts them back ahead of the Magpies. So let's go into the UEFA Cup game as we noticed that the Wolfies Wolves, Pellizzoli sent off, but he's still held out.
Yeah,
And
it's an early sending off as well. Neil Sullivan's come
who
in, so
scored
maybe
the
that's
own goal?
some inspiration for David and Wolfie in the next couple of matches.
Some quality action going on there, isn't it?
Lots of colours, yeah.
So Bolton drew 2-all with Slavia Moscow with goals from Ricardo Gardner and Rod Wallace.
Rod Wallace, who naturally gets into the England squad quite often, doesn't he?
Indeed. Leicester beaten by Vicenza despite Muzzy is its goal, but Ian Walker in goal, what do you expect? And down there, Tenerife 4, Salzburg 0. So, Saeed is banned and Kirsten is banned. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just skip through these bits.
I'd appeal that Kirsten one, harsh referee, and he was just furious, that's all it was. Just showing a bit of passion.
No, he's done for the season now. Done for the season.
Oh, Kevin McLeod only out for a short period of time, so that's not too bad news for Swan.
Defending them.
Couple of suspensions there for Blues. They're the Oakgate's board. They're there.
Yeah, because of that. So, Gondo into that.
Bischan's out. That's a big miss, isn't it? In that Dangley's game against, is it Otis the next one?
Yeah, it is.
Missing Igor. That's some good news for Otis.
So, Leiria versus 76ers. We've got Chef Wed versus Real Madrid.
I'm more concerned with Fortuna Calza and Falaraki Haka.
Falaraka.
Oh, Atletico alum. They're playing Slaven Belupo.
Blackburn Academica. Oh, there's some great games in this. This is the one they all want to watch. Oviedo
Sean Dundee, yeah.
So, 76ers, everyone's still available from who was available. They have gone into it with a few changes. I think Marquinhos, was he starting last game? I don't think he's playing. Obviously not today. Some changes. Last time they won 7-0 in the Cup. I don't know if anybody saw that game, really. It was a non-televised match, as I realised when setting up the save that they hadn't played their Cup game and it turned up in the middle of all the stuff. So I played the game 7-0 and absolutely dominant.
Yeah, just Malevsky with the blot on his copybook there, hasn't he? With the red card, and he's on the bench tonight, so it's punishment probably. But see, I'd have probably played him in this one, thinking he'll be suspended for
It's
the other game. But it's the cup, so it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah.
So Leiria, are there any? I mean, there must be some real players there. Toze.
Tozer.
Yeah, it's not a lot going on. Rui Pinheiro.
I like the stadium name.
Estadio Dr. Camalo Pessoa. Fantastic. Dr. Magalhães Pessoa. Fantastic.
Like 4-0 76ers, I think this one.
Let's see how they get on. It seems to be playing really. Oh, the Cup was played really fast last night. Yeah, or whenever it was 2 nights ago. Played at extremely fast speed. 76ers, they don't score many goals unless it's in the Cup. And so they're hoping that they can keep it going in here, and they make it 1-0 through Sigalko.
Nedved assist.
Yeah. Pavel Nedved doing a decent job for this team at times. He's not hugely consistent, but he does a job. And they're holding on here. I mean, they beat Strasbourg 4-0 away. Sigalko has 2 away goals so far. In this one, he could easily get a hat-trick. And it's just comfortable so far, isn't it? Very comfortable as it stands. So, quick summary. It's all going well, isn't it? I don't know if it's on that. Try to get in.
Yeah, good half. Performing well going forward. It's a good job they've not got Dan Hazard Sigalko up front. A couple of goals, clinical finishing so far, and more of the same in the second half.
And the second half's underway. And it seems quite quiet at the moment. Thiago getting involved for Leiria, and the substitutes fast approaching. Here we are. Nedved takes the card. So let's just take a look at 76ers subs plans. Kesman for Del Piero. And Van Bommel for Rui Costa. We'll check for any glaring injury problems. No, nothing. So Rui Costa again.
You're not learnt where the left is yet?
Not yet, no. I just get distracted by by just being comfortable in that position.
You just have to do that trick where you hold your finger and thumb up and it makes an L, and then you can go, oh yeah, that's my left.
Ground ball for Rudy Costa. Done. And to the end of the game we go.
Defense relatively untroubled, isn't it, so far?
Oh,
Lots of
now
sixes
it's
in there.
troubled. Nesta.
Yeah, he is troubled, isn't he? Get Paolo on.
I'm just looking for who's played the least games this season in terms of things. Oko's played the least. Come on. It's just a cup game. It means nothing.
Yeah, let's back him to get a goal. Come on, Isaac.
So we've got in these last few minutes. It's not as interesting as the 7-0 last night. Cannavaro.
No, Cannavaro's got one instead.
3-0. Very, very comfortable now. They will be heading through. I don't even know if the game against Salaria will be played, won't it? Before the end of the season. And it's 3-0. Comfortable. Sigalco man of the match. Lots of attempted headers. Not the most successful in the air. And fine, isn't it?
Yeah, good performance, comfortable. The only worry is how long is Nesta out for? Is it? That's all we need to know as a 76ers manager. But good result, confidence boosting one, isn't it? And not as good as Fortuna 4-0 at home to Karlsruhe. That's an excellent performance, and Ronaldo will certainly be starting their next game if they're buying from someone else.
Yeah, because you don't have him yourself. Yeah, comfortable. Sheffield 0, Real Madrid 1, Edwin Congo with the goal. And what else?
Balaraki 2-0 against Hake.
Charlton winning. Balaraki versus Hake, that's a good one.
And we had that Atletico alum as well, didn't we? Is the top.
Losing to Slaven Beluga.
That's not like them. They're a good team. That's harsh, isn't it? That's not right.
Wonder if it's injury problems again.
10 men as well, the opposition. They had a man taken off injured 9 minutes to go.
Oh, well, I'm having a good yawn. Look, we are going to be saving this one as the 19th of October, and I'll get to it when it comes. So that is where we will leave tonight's games. Reminder of the next round of fixtures. We'll just go to those very quickly. I suppose it's easy to find it from looking for 76ers, isn't it? Look into that. And with 76ers versus Chunks on Sunday. Thank you very much, Quinton.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat. Being good fun again. And we will see you again soon. Good night.